The Battle of Chancellorsville, fought from April 30th to May 6, 1863, stands as one of the most significant engagements of the American Civil War. This battle, waged in the dense woodlands of Spotsylvania County, Virginia, pitted two formidable armies against each other. The Army of the Potomac, under the command of Major General Joseph Hooker, represented the Union's latest attempt to capture the Confederate capital at Richmond. Arrayed against them was the Army of Northern Virginia, commanded by the legendary General Robert E. Lee, a master of defensive warfare. Chancellorsville was a clash of titans, a battle where the fate of the nation seemed to hang in the balance. The stakes were high for both sides. A Union victory could potentially end the Confederacy's hopes of independence. A Confederate victory would further solidify their hold on Virginia and deal a crushing blow to Union morale. General Robert E. Lee, already a hero in the South, commanded the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia. Known for his tactical brilliance and his willingness to take risks, Lee was a constant threat to the Union Army. Facing him was Major General Joseph Hooker, newly appointed to lead the Army of the Potomac. Hooker, nicknamed Fighting Joe, was confident and aggressive, determined to prove himself against the formidable Lee. The differences between the two commanders were stark. Lee, outnumbered and outgunned, relied on his strategic genius and the tenacity of his troops. Hooker, with a larger army and more resources, was determined to crush Lee's army and end the rebellion. The stage was set for a battle that would test the mettle of both these iconic Civil War generals. Lee, facing a larger Union force, decided on a daring strategy. He divided his army in the face of the enemy, a risky maneuver that could have been disastrous if not for the competence of his subordinates and Hooker's cautious nature. Stonewall Jackson, Lee's most trusted lieutenant, was entrusted with a flanking maneuver that would become legendary in military history. Jackson, with over 28,000 men, marched around the Union right flank, concealed by the dense wilderness. This audacious move caught Hooker completely off guard, and the Confederate attack, when it came, was swift and devastating. The Union 11th Corps, unprepared for the onslaught, was routed, and the momentum of the battle shifted decisively in favor of the Confederates. Section 4. A Union faltering, Hooker's plans unravel. Hooker, initially confident, seemed paralyzed by Jackson's flanking maneuver. His grand plans for a swift and decisive victory unraveled in the face of Lee's audacious tactics. The Union Army, despite its superior numbers, was thrown on the defensive and forced to relinquish the initiative they had held at the start of the battle. Despite some early successes, the Union attack faltered. Hooker, injured during the fighting, seemed to lose his nerve, and his orders became increasingly confused. The Union Army, instead of pressing its advantage, found itself reacting to Lee's moves, a dangerous position for any army to be in. The Battle of Chancellorsville ended in a resounding Confederate victory. Lee, against all odds, had defeated a larger, better-equipped Union army. The victory, however, came at a heavy cost. Stonewall Jackson, Lee's right-hand man and arguably his most able commander, was mortally wounded by friendly fire during the battle. The Confederacy, though victorious, was reeling from the loss of Jackson. The Union Army, despite its defeat, lived to fight another day. Chancellorsville, while a Confederate victory, did little to change the strategic situation. The war, much to the dismay of both sides, would drag on for 2 more bloody years. The Battle of Chancellorsville is often seen as a turning point in the Civil War, but not for the reasons one might think. While it was a Confederate tactical victory, it came at a high price: the loss of Stonewall Jackson. His death deprived Lee of his most trusted commander, a loss that would have significant consequences for the Confederacy in the coming months. Chancellorsville also emboldened Lee, leading him to embark on the Gettysburg Campaign, a gamble that would ultimately fail and cost the Confederacy the strategic initiative in the war. The Battle of Chancellorsville, therefore, stands as a testament to the unpredictable nature of war, where victory can be as costly as defeat, and where the course of history can turn on a single fateful moment.